We're going to be inviting up onto the stage here, or to the floor here, Dr. Stirling, Bryan, and Lisa Ridgway to share their reflections on the day. Thank you so much. If you can give them a round of applause. Thank you. Mic number six for you. Thank you. I'll let you guys introduce yourself.
Mic number 6. Ooh. Stirling and I are going to be speaking 4 times together in the next couple of weeks, so I don't want to peak too early. Please introduce yourself, Stirling.
I'm Stirling Bryan.
Hello.
Do you want more?
Is it necessary?
You go.
Okay, please, please. Well, I'm Lisa Ridgway, the co-chair of this conference, and I am also most proudly a patient partner with the British Columbia Support Unit. We are the closers to this good day. Now, my greatest claim to fame thus far in life was that I was born on the same day as Benjamin Franklin. Oh, no, the exact same day and year as Michelle Obama. I'm sorry. And the resemblance does not stop there, to Michelle, that is, not Benjamin. So my co-birthday pal, Benjamin Franklin, once said, "Time is money, and your time is very precious right now since it's the end of the conference." It has been one heck of a day, and all sorts of things happened that I didn't know were going to happen and I didn't know about, and that makes it a very exciting day. But today, however, right now, it's not time for my story. This is not about me, it's all about you. I saw many people today exchanging stories, exchanging hopes and fears, and that takes courage. And I thank you for being here for each other today. So we're all tired, and I could use a glass of Chardonnay. Stirling will be buying. Just for me, though, not for the rest of you. So please hang in there, especially for the closing prayer. To use a tired phrase, I am Lisa Ridgway, and I am a recovering lawyer. But I am also recovered from severe mental illness. I had a black dog, and its name was depression. But back to the law. In the law, in the world of the law, when you appear in court before a judge, you always address the other lawyers, not the judge, the other lawyers, as my learned friends. Even if you disagree, and that's what lawyers do, we disagree, you always say, my learned friend. So, my learned friend, you misstated the facts. My learned friend, you forgot about this particular case. Well, we're all here today, and I'm going to call you all my learned friends, not because we disagree, but because we are all learned friends in a learning health system. Are we building bridges here? Yes, we are, but we're not building bridges as we walk on them. We're looking ahead as we walk on the bridge, and the bridge is solid as the flying buttresses to Notre Dame. That cathedral did not crumble in the terrible fire, and that's because stonemasons built it strong. Now, the BC support unit and every support unit in our great land is facing challenges. We are facing, in several years, not that long actually, a funding challenge. But, my learned friends, you are involved in the planning and building the bridge, not again as we walk on it, but as we look at at it here today, November 14th, 2024, and we see into the future. So please remember the part about the learned friends, and please remember the part about learning health systems. And please stick with me here, as I am trying to stick with me too. A conference is created and built and flows because it's a team. And you, being here, are part of the team. In fact, the BC support unit, Michelle and Emily and Monica, Larry, Jen, John, so many others, and our colleagues at Michael Smith Health Research BC, all the mighty people there. They did not do this because they had to. They did it because they believe in patient-oriented research, and you all believe, I hope, in patient-oriented research. So let's talk about patient partners, because that's who I am. You cannot do patient-oriented research without patient partners. And across the patient partner community in Canada, we have a thing about people saying, oh, we're all patients. It's not about the fact that we are all patients. That's obvious. My doctor and my dentist and my psychiatrist, each of these people is a patient, but not all of them are patient partners. And if you are a patient partner, you are a rock star. You have earned your stripes, your chops, your chutzpah. May you find strength in all of us, your patient partners, to continue to live your lived experience. Please share it with your research team, your co-investigators, your funding partners. Please just keep giving. It's not a give and take. It's all about giving. And if you have to take, then take pride in your work as a patient partner. We have a job to do, and we will do it well. And by doing this job, I stay well. So I am trying very hard to understand learning health systems, and I work with brilliant people who really do understand learning systems and health systems, and they make it simple for me and keep it simple, thank goodness, because learning health systems are complex. Now, I'm a lawyer, so I'm going to use Latin. Complex is a Latin word, complexus, and it means weaving together, mixing, blending, circularity, proximity, and awareness. And Robert Reed, Dr. Robert Reed, thank you for being here as our keynote speaker. And in the papers that you write with your teams, the word complex and complexity is used. And it's actually a complex exercise to set up a simple system. In patient-oriented research, the end result is simple, not because we are simple as individuals. We are not simple as individuals. We are not simple as organizations either, far from it. But to learn, to reach, to make patient-oriented research a learning health system, we need to reach the people who are not here today. Patient-oriented research needs to survive as a learning health system. Thank you, Dr. Reed and Dr. Kaluski, for inspiring us with your formidable ideas. Robert Reed, Carrie Kaluski, R2K2, that's how I'm going to remember them. How can we reach the people that are not here? Perhaps by simplifying access. Perhaps we need to hold hands, not literally, as we walk on the bridge. I need all of us here to make patient-oriented research more accessible. That must be our mandate. Now, remember, patient-oriented research is not a bunch of abstract principles. There is bedrock, a foundation of ideas that govern and guide our work. However, our work together depends most on people like you. And I think my ideas might be naive, but maybe not. We will build a new way of moving forward in healthcare and healthcare research, I believe there is a promise here, a promise of building relationships, personally and professionally. Call me naive or call me overenthusiastic even, but both truly, to me, are compliments. Almost finished. So, all of us here today have felt the pull towards patient-oriented research. Did you know that some animals navigate according to the Earth's magnetic pole? Like a sea turtle twists and tugs according to an inner drive, a compass, a focus on a direction. A butterfly migrates immense distances. Elephants sweep forward according to their instincts. You know, I can't let go of that feeling, that movement forward and the power of something we can't see, but every sign points that way. So we're all a big rock star choir here, singing really well to each other, but we need to sing to others about patient-oriented research, others that are outside of this room. Sing very loudly, as I did today, as some of you know, to your colleagues who couldn't make it here today. Sing about the BC Support Unit, how they have a passionate mandate to help you do patient-oriented research. And to fully exhaust the choir analogy, let me say this: no matter if you can't sing in tune, just keep singing. So before I leave you this evening, I need to express my gratitude. I need to give thanks to one particular part of the BC Support Unit and one person. So a shout out to the Vancouver Island Regional Centre of the BC Support Unit. There you are. And a heartfelt shout out to one of my most learned friends in patient-oriented research, Dr. Stirling Bryan. Thank you for your support and your tireless trust and gentle nudges forward for many, many years to reach our common goals. So my learned friends, I am going to close the conference with Stirling's help, and then get that big glass, the 9-ounce, please, okay, so that I can properly toast. Here's to all of us at the conference, especially patient partners. And here's to you, the BC Support Unit, and the Michael Smith Health Research BC organization. You rock. And here's to putting a patient partner last at putting patients first. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lisa. I sort of think I should just say, and what she said. But I'll just say a few words and a few thank yous. So I'm Stirling Bryan. I recognize myself as a first-generation settler on these lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations, the unceded lands. I'm a son. I'm a husband. Actually, I'm a husband of a lawyer who has never described me as learned. So I'll take that back to Anne and remind her that she should address me in that way. I'm a father, but I'm not a grandfather yet. So don't tell my sons that I said that, please. And I'm the Chief Scientific Officer at Health Research BC and the PI for the support unit. And I'm incredibly grateful for today's event. And thank you, everybody. It's just been a wonderful experience to be here because of all of you. So thank you so much. The sessions demonstrated the breadth and strength. I've got a script, so I'll skip various parts of the script. Apologies, Jen. But they illustrated the challenges that we need to address together. And we're a provincial community, and that's just wonderful, wonderful to see. So a few things that I took away from today. Stirling now to provide own comments here in no more than 4 minutes. Okay, so I'll provide my comments in 2 minutes. One, I want to just put up a slide for Tapestry. We started off with a comment that's a really important comment about diversity in patient-oriented research. And I want us to understand the legacy of the work that Erin Mihalik led on diversity. This is a platform that is about bringing diverse patient engagement in a diverse world. And it's a resource that we should all be using and we should all be celebrating as a success story for BC. So thank you, Erin, for the work that you did on that. I want to start, I want to close, sorry, by saying, I was struck by the comment, the quote that Kerry Kaluski gave. She gave a quote from a patient that said, quote, "I'm tired of telling my experiences because nothing is done with it." And I think we should all reflect on that quote and actually embrace learning health systems because of that quote. So we have learning health systems, and we heard from Rob Reed. And Rob said, the system has a few problems to solve in a very understated way. And he said, let's get to work. And I think that's a challenge to us now, is about let's get to work. And the quote that Rob made in that vein was, make any change for the better the new normal. And I think that's what we need to embrace in learning health systems, is about making any change for the better the new normal. And then two quotes, two things that I heard. One from Linda when she started us off today. She said, we're not all the same, but we're all here for the common good. And I think this conference has just exemplified that, that sentiment for me. We're not all the same, but we're all here for the common good. And Elder Ruth started us off in such a powerful way and a good way. And you use the phrase, culture is a healing tool. And for me, that speaks again to what we're doing in this work, where we talk about research as being care and care as being research. And that's the culture shift that we're looking to achieve. So those were my reflections. So thank you everyone for your time and attention today. Please take time to complete our evaluation survey before you go today, ideally. It'll take less than 10 minutes. I've completed it already, and it took me 3 minutes. So there we go. So see if you can beat 3 minutes for your survey. There's a QR code somewhere. Before we close the event, there are a few people I'd like to thank. I'd like to thank I'd like to thank Elder Ruth Alfred, first of all, and we look forward to your formal closing of today. Obviously, Doctors Rob Reed and Kerry Kaluski. Monica Mahmood, our patient partner lead, the learned Linda Riches, and the learned Lisa Ridgway. I'd like to thank our moderator, Ellie Griffith, all of our panelists, poster presenters, Peter Ebhart. I thank you for your attendance today and your willingness to share about our dear friend and your former spouse, Pat Atherton. I think there were tears in our eyes when you were talking, and I thank you very much for being with us today. All of the people leading the interactive sessions, and particularly a big thank you to all of our patient partners who've attended this event from across the province. And finally, I'd like to thank our host, Victoria Suter. It's been a wonderful experience to do improv at a conference. That's a first for me. Our volunteers from Health Research BC, our photographer, Georgie Lawson. There we are. Thank you. And thanks to our planning committee, co-chaired by Michelle Duffy, who is probably the one person who's known by every single person in this room, and our partner, Lisa Ridgway, for co-chairing the committee. The BC Support Unit staff, and finally, to thank Sally Clelford, who is at face-to-face events, and her team. And finally, thanks to everyone who's joined us for the 7th annual Putting Patients First conference, and for those who've joined online. And so please join me in showing appreciation to everybody involved, including yourselves, in this conference. Straight. And now I'd like to invite Elder Ruth Alfred to lead us in a closing prayer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much to both of you for putting patients first. Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you. I would just like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your day to come here and learn with each other and take that forward in your work. Putting patients first means to me acknowledging, listening, and learning with one mind, one heart. That would be so wonderful if things could happen that way. I just want to mention to all of you that it's kind of a sad day for me because it's my brother Michael's, or Mikey, it's his heavenly birthday today. And I'm thinking about him now because he was a patient for a long, long time and wasn't acknowledged, wasn't listened to, and nobody learned from him. I would like to send you off in a good way, and I'll put the mic down because I don't like to hold the mic while I do that.
Thank you. Well, that wraps our day, everyone. Thank you so much to Elder Ruth for that lovely closing prayer. Really appreciate that. So we're at the end of putting patients first, but not at the end. The chapters will always continue. So just another heartfelt thank you for your time today and this lovely welcoming space. I thank you all and wish you a good night. My name has been Victoria Suter. I've been your host. And please, another round of applause for everyone and everything in this room. Thank you, everyone, and good night.